Right, I'm up here behind Kanalooswach. Look at the scenery behind me, beautiful. I've got my musk ox here, potatoes, garlic, olives, mushrooms, got some red cabbage, got my fire on here. It has melted down through the ice and found itself a bit of rock to settle on. On with the pan, good splash of olive oil in there, and I've got some new potatoes. I pre-cooked them in actual fact earlier, and they're gonna go into that pan. Then I've got some garlic here. I've left the skin on, I like the skin on, it roasts down, it feels kind of a bit more earthy. In with them, and then some olives, stuffed with a little bit of something. In they go there, and a little bit of thyme. So I've got my 2 strip loins of musk ox here. Got a lovely covering of fat on the outside here. The animal needs that fat to keep it warm in this harsh environment. But inside it's very lean. I didn't have to take much off. And we're going to cut brilliant steaks out of this. What you might call sirloin steaks, porterhouse steak, that kind of thing. Take a cut there. If I just butterfly those open like that, I got one there. And another one there. Just got to stir these potatoes. Crikey. Nice to have your hand down there by that fire. Puts a bit of warmth back in there, and that's what we like. So 2 steaks here, salt on there, pepper on there, and a bit of our oil. Just give that a little rub like that. Both sides, get it nicely covered in the oil. Now, we need a hot pan for this. So we're gonna have to move our potatoes over a bit, but they're coming along lovely. I'm gonna pop them out there on that big piece of wood there, and I'm gonna put on one of these pans with the edges on them. You know, they've got the raised bottom. And we need the pan to become hot, because when you make steak, you must fry steak, never boil steak. If we put the steak into the pan now, the pan is cold, the steak boils, you end up with tough steak, and this meat, I've worked too hard for this meat to make it tough. We need it tender, we want it lovely. I've hunted the steak today, which is great in the way I like to do it. But there's a Greenlandic company called Arctic Green Food. They're now exporting this musk oxen out into Europe. And for people like Johanna, that's important because it ups the value of what they can achieve with what they're hunting. Keep an eye out for it in the supermarket, you never know when you'll see it. Now our pan's hot here, and I'm just gonna take these steaks and pop them down into the fry pan. Now what you don't want to do is pick up your pan and start shaking it about all over the place. That is a disaster. It needs the heat from that fire coming up through the bottom of that pan so it can achieve that frying motion. If I lifted it up, the heat's gone, the pan goes cold, the steak starts to boil. We don't want that. I'm going to try and crisscross the bottom like noughts and crosses. Keep an eye on your potatoes. I'm going to show you one, look at that. Golden brown, beautiful sauteed potatoes, like breakfast potatoes. Everybody loves sauteed breakfast potatoes. Now steak time, the revealing moment. Turn them over, find out if we've achieved what we wanted to. Look at that. Exactly what we're looking for. Crosses one way, crosses the other way. I think medium is good for this cut of meat. We wouldn't want it too rare, and at the same time we don't want it too well done. So we're simply sitting back, enjoying the view here in Greenland. And if you look out way over my shoulder there, we've got the ice cap. That's the middle of Greenland. That's the bit that's permanently frozen. And I'm going up there, which is fantastic news. There is one downside. If we think it's cold here, boy, is it cold up there. I'm gonna add the mushrooms, okay? Scatter them around the outside there. They're gonna soak up those juices that are coming out of the steak. We've got those frying juices, those natural flavors. They'll go straight into the mushroom. We've got plenty of flavor in there. Fire is working a treat. So potatoes are ready, perfect, golden brown, exactly what we were looking for. Grab some of those garlics as well, don't leave them behind. They smell beautiful too. I can smell the thyme coming off them. The red cabbage, I cheated, I didn't make it. They sell it up here in the supermarket. You have to give me a break, really. It is minus 25. But you know what it's all about? It's all about the musk ox. Now look at that, exactly what I was hoping to achieve. Tell you what, we'll sneak a bit. Oh, beautiful, juicy, tender, not tough at all, which I was worried about. In actual fact, it's very, very beefy. Now I've got my mushrooms down here. Pop them on top there, like that. Now my second cheat of the day. Parsnip crisps, I made them earlier. Voila. A fantastic dish. We've got musk ox, we've got the sauteed potatoes, red cabbage, but it's a special kind of dish for a special kind of girl who took me on a special kind of day. Johanna, I love you.